My 2005 LR3 needs a new water pump. It's making this crazy noise. I narrowed that noise down to the water pump by using my stethoscope, and then I loosened the tension on the belt and I could wiggle the pulley on the pump, so that's not a good thing. These are the tools you'll need to replace the water pump on a Land Rover LR3. I like having a stethoscope. It helps me figure out what's making noise. You'll need a tool to remove the cooling fan. This is a universal. It works. Get the specific one for Land Rover. This is a little fiddly. Need channel locks or something to remove the lower radiator hose. You'll need a 1/2-inch drive and a 3/8-inch drive, kind of a big meaty guy, so you can use the belt tensioner, relieve the tension on the belt. You'll need a torque wrench that goes down to 7 foot-pounds. You'll need 8mm, 10mm, I think a 13mm for the cover panel underneath, an assortment of 8mm and 10mm wrenches, 3/8-inch drive. I used a 1/4 drive to get the water pump off, panel clip or a flathead screwdriver to get the panels on the splash guard underneath the driver's side tire. I've already removed the engine cover. That is held on by, I believe it was 6mm screws. They're captured screws, so you don't need to take them all the way out. This duct work is flathead screwdriver holding that together. This cover just snaps off. Now we're going to go underneath the car, remove the cover plate down there, and drain some of the coolant out. I only drained a little bit of the coolant because I want to try and not drain the whole thing since I just changed the coolant like 2 months ago. We're going to take the fan off. If you haven't done this before, this is going to be the hardest part of the whole job. Now you'll just unscrew the fan, and it's righty-loosey. Wait, it's a left-hand thread, so it's righty-loosey, not lefty-loosey. I'm going to put a piece of cardboard in here just in case I get a little crazy. I don't want to damage the cooling fins. Now I'm going to take a 10mm wrench and loosen up the cooling fan pulley screws. Take a 1/2-inch drive ratchet, stick it on the tensioner, relieve the pressure, and pull the belt out of the way. I've taken the 8mm screws that hold the water pump. I've taken those screws out. Now I'm going to release the pressure on the belt. And I'm going to slide the belt off. Take the pulley off. There is the water pump. You don't have to take the accessory drive belt completely off. You don't have to take any tensioners off. You only have to get the fan off and the fan pulley. The water pump is held on by 5 8mm screws. I'm going to take those off right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them out just in case it matters where they go back in. I'm going to pull them out and then put them inside the water pump. I don't think it matters, but just in case, I'm going to do that. Here's the old water pump. That bearing's toast. Now I need to take a good look at the surface that I'm going to be installing on, make sure that there's no yuck on there, and there is some yuck, so I'll clean that off. Now I'm going to transfer the screws over from the new pump to the old pump. Set the new pump in place and put the screws in. All the screws will be put in by hand. I'm tightening the water pump screws to 7 foot-pounds. Now the water pump pulley will go back on, and what I've done is I've lined up one of the screws right at the top, one of the screw holes right at the top, and then I'll take him and line up the screw hole right at the top, and with any luck it'll be right on, and it is. Cool. The pulley screws are also tightened to 7 foot-pounds. I put the belt back on so the belt holds the pulley in place. We'll put the fan belt pulley on, put the screw hole at the top, come in 10 millimeter, and we will just get them snug. 1/2 inch drive. And we'll put the belt back on. With the belt holding the pulley in place, we'll do 7 foot-pounds on these guys as well. Now we'll tighten the fan up. Remember, we're going left. And that is tight enough. I'm going to go back underneath the car, reconnect the lower radiator hose, and put the cover panels back on. Well, I think I've filled the cooling system properly. These guys like to have air pockets and air bubbles, so what I'll do is I'll drive it around close to home first and see if I have any trouble with overheating. And I keep an eye on the coolant in the coolant reservoir. If you have any questions about replacing the water pump, feel free to leave them in the comments. Have a great day.